Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would discuss my favourite romance tropes and some examples. Now I would say I'm not a connoisseur of romance because, like I've said in previous videos, my overall favourite genre is fantasy. But I have got into romance more in the last few years, and especially romancy, which I equally adore. For anyone that doesn't know, romancy is fantasy and romance together. So, like, think Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas or Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. That has those romance elements in, but it's fantasy as well. Loads of different authors do different degrees of it. So some do more fantasy than romance. Some do more romance than fantasy. It's as long as they have elements in, I think they can be classed as romancy. So I would say my top favourite romance tropes include enemies to lovers, brother's best friend. I love arranged marriage or like fake dating or anything like that. If it has billionaires, I'm in. And cowboys also is the new favourite of mine. And I'm only just branching into sports romance, so I don't know if I'll talk about that today because it's not something I'm really like involved in a lot at the minute. I mean, I have loads behind me, but I haven't read them yet. I've literally only read like Icebreaker, which is a hockey romance. So, and I've read Mile High by Liz Ford. So I've read a couple, but I'm not no way in any form or shape an expert. And please ignore that my annoying little communicative device just went off there. So yes, I will go through all these books in front of me, tell you what tropes they are and why I love them. So this book is Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did by Monica Murphy. And for me, the tropes in this and the one that I absolutely love is good girl with bad boy or vice versa. Any shape or form of that I absolutely love. I just love how the characters change and progress, and I just adore that type of trope. I think mainly because it's like when you first read fantasy, I think that's kind of the overwhelming theme with a lot of them now, is that it's, oh, he's a bad guy, oh, she's gonna change him, oh, yay. And I'm not in for all of that. I like when the bad guy stays bad and maybe the good girl gets corrupted a little bit. I like that. So this is part of a series that Monica has written, all featuring like a massive family called the Lancasters. And another trope that I love is like boarding school romance, so like this covers that as well. But she just writes really well and I love it, and her characters are so 3D to me that I could literally read them over and over again. I'll read the blurb so you can get an idea of this book a bit more. And then I'll talk a bit more about the tropes. Whit Lancaster is a cold, heartless and devastatingly handsome bad boy at Lancaster Prep. Beautiful summer savage has no time for Whit, but his intense gaze traps her under a spell, fills her with a longing she doesn't understand. When Whit gets into trouble one night, Summer invites him in, tends to his wounds, lets her guard down just for a moment, which is when Whit takes off in the dead of night, taking her journal with him. Now, he holds all of her darkest secrets, threatening to expose her to the entire school. So Summer strikes a deal with Whit, a deal that leaves her at his mercy behind closed doors. But what if he's at hers? And it was a very good book. I will say, for my first Monica Murphy, I was thrown in at the deep end because, warning, there is a lot of smut in this book. It may look really pretty, but Monica writes really good spice, and there was a lot in this chunk of the first book. The next one that I read, which was A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, isn't as bad, but still, bad boy, good girl, kind of thing. That trope it makes me happy, and I think that's one of maybe the overarching themes in like most romance books is the fact that there's like a grumpy billionaire bad boy morally grey man, and then there's like I don't want to say pure because not all of the females are pure, but like, you know, that kind of, oh my god, she's so innocent, oh, he's gonna corrupt her, that kind of thing. That's probably like a very common theme in a lot of romance books, but it's still my favourite. So this is Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did, and the trope was good girl, bad boy. When I say and talk about romance books and tropes, Anna Hang has covered probably most of them at this point, and I love her for it. This book is number 1 in the Kings of Sin series. It's King of Wrath, and it's an arranged marriage. Now, I think most people on my Bookstagram are arranged marriage kind of... Well, I say that sounds really bad. They're arranged marriage kind of people. But who doesn't love an arranged marriage where they eventually fall in love with each other? And it's like, you knew it was coming, but they didn't know it was coming. And it's just great, and it's exciting, and you get to feel the build-up and all the tension, and it's great. So yes, the Kings of Sin series is one I absolutely love for, like, discovering different tropes. This is arranged marriage. The second book, I think, is King of Pride, and that is, I want to say it's forbidden because he's like her boss or whatever, so that's forbidden. And the third book was Second Chance Romance, where they were already married and he has to grovel, which is great. But if you're looking for a series that explores overall tropes in a really nice and not confusing way, Anna Hang is your girl. But the reason I love arranged marriage so much is just the build-up of 2 people thrown together. They're like, what the hell's going on? Why are we doing this? Then they kind of think they should, then they kind of start falling for each other. But then something happens and they're like, oh no, I don't like you. But then they realise they actually love each other. It's great. It's just, I think I like the predictability that most arranged marriage books work out with a happy ever after because it's an arranged marriage and they're kind of stuck with each other. I like that aspect of things, and it doesn't really change much. I'll just read the blurb of this because I think lots of people will really enjoy it. She's the wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. Ruthless, meticulous, arrogant. Dante Russo thrives on control, both personally and professionally. The billionaire CEO never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Liu, jewellery heiress and daughter of his newest enemy. It doesn't matter how beautiful or charming she is. He'll do everything in his power to destroy the evidence and their betrothal. There's only one problem. Now that he has her, he can't bring himself to let her go. Elegant, ambitious, well-mannered. Vivian Liu is the perfect daughter, and her family's ticket into the upper echelons of high society. Marrying a blue-blooded Russo means opening doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money family. While the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a dream partner, she agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst thing she could possibly do, fall in love with her future husband. If that doesn't draw you in, I don't know what will. This story had me gripped. I got to the end and I wanted more still. Vivian's family is a piece of work, but we appreciate that in a book like this because it makes Dante really protective and we love him for that. Though he is very morally grey. I think most of my romance guys that I fell in love with are morally grey, and we just accept that as a fact. As you'll know in my video I did of my top 5 fictional fantasy husbands, they were all, boyfriends. They were all morally grey, and we love them. So, a morally grey, a billionaire, bring it on. So, the King of Sin series, King of Wrath by Anna Hang, is a perfect introduction into arranged marriage. So, before I go into my favourite trope ever, enemies to lovers, which I will never stop talking about because I'm pretty sure most of my romantic ones are enemies to lovers, can we just take a minute to appreciate this gorgeous book that I got my hands on from America? Well, it was shipped from America. It is The Pale Kingdom by Holly Renee. And when I tell you I had a friend on Bookstagram that was raving about this book, and I finally caved and I got it. Well, I read it on my Kindle first and was like, this is the best enemies to lovers I've read in quite a while. It is very fast paced, so if you're wanting a more of a slow burn enemies to lovers, this probably isn't for you. But if you want a fast back and forth enemies to lovers, this book will have your soul. And if you haven't read it, you probably should, because also she's an indie author and you should support indie authors. So, yeah, I love enemies to lovers because of how much they give. They give tension. They give good spice. They give reconciliation multiple times over if you're in for the slow burn kind of thing. Or it's just like, I hate you. I hate you. Oh wait, I love you. Enemies to lovers is one of my most favourite things, and I could sit here and talk about it all day and still probably not be able to tell you why I love it so much, because I know it's not, I don't know, actually I don't know, many people it isn't their cup of tea. But I just love enemies to lovers. Especially it doesn't always work in other fiction, in like normal romance fiction I've found. It works deliciously in fantasy and romantasy. But there's been a couple of times I've read enemies to lovers in like setting in the real world, and it's just been really not my cup of tea, which I don't know what it says about me, but you know, maybe I don't know. I'll have that conversation with myself another day, not on camera. But yeah, this book is so good, and I will read the blurb. From USA Today best-selling author Holly Renee, author of the Stars and Shadows series, comes a scorching new fantasy romance that ignites the pages with relentless danger, forbidden passion, and the intoxicating allure of enemies to lovers. Fleeing my father's cruelty, the wicked king who robbed me of a future, I faced death in the streets, caught between a rebellion and a tyrant's reign. Captured by those sworn to kill me, the rebels remain blind to my true identity. The missing daughter of the despised king. Faced with an impossible choice, I stand before them, join the rebels or face their blades. Yet Dacre, I never know if I'm saying his name right, so I apologise for actually butchering it. Yet Dacre, the son of the ruthless rebellion commander, becomes torn between suspicion and a desire that mirrors my own. He allows no one to touch me, tries to protect me, yet threatens me at every turn. As secrets are weaved beyond our hidden realm, a fierce battle unfolds within me. As I get closer to the rebels and their cause, my loyalty to my kingdom clashes with my undeniable devotion to Dacre and the burning connection between us. In a world where love and hate are two edges of the same blade, I find myself caught in a delicate dance between forbidden desire and my looming destiny. Come on, if that doesn't give you all the enemies to lovers feels, what are you doing? But yeah, I think this is like a perfect example of how to do it really right. And also a perfect example of how to do a gorgeous just cover. Because this is one of my rare books. It's hardback, and I treasure it with my life. But yeah, and also the ending on this book. If you're not a fan of like cliffhangers where you don't know what's going to happen, wait till the whole series is finished, probably, because that's a massive cliffhanger at the end. And I am waiting to read The Hunted Hare. The Hunted Hare? Yeah, which is the next book in the series, so I can find out what happens, because I'm very anxiously waiting to see if my enemy to lovers are still enemies, or if they turn lovers. I do have a disclaimer with this book, because it will look like I haven't read it, but I read Falls by Elsie Silver first on Kindle when I was getting into my romance, cowboy romance era, and it's safe to say it's stuck, because now I've got them all on my shelf. I actually love cowboy romance. I don't know if people class it as a genre or a trope, but I class cowboy romance as kind of both, and I thought I had to include it, because who doesn't love a cowboy romance, especially one by Elsie Silver that's equally really sweet and also really spicy. I love the idea of like characters on a ranch or a farm in America. God, can you imagine if it was set in like in England and they were like sheep farmers in like the Dales or whatever? It'd be I think somebody should do that just for the comedic value of it. It would not have the same effect as people riding horses and being ranch owners in the south of America at all. But it would be hilarious. I think someone should do that. But moving on, I absolutely love cowboy romance. I think it's my new obsession. I don't know if I like Flawless as much as I like the rest of the series. I'd probably have to reread to figure it out, to be fair, because all I think about when I think of Elsie Silver is Cade Eaton and his story in Heartless with Willa. Oopsies. That book plays on my mind quite a lot just because it was amazing and it needs all the love it gets. But let me read the blood of this. The rules were simple. Keep my hands off his daughter. But now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed and, well, rules are made to be broken. I'm the golden boy of professional bull riding. Or at least I was, until it all blew up in my face. Now my agent says I have to clean up my image. So I'm stuck with his ball-busting daughter for the rest of the season as my full-time supervision. But I don't need a goddamn babysitter. Especially one with skin-tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. She says there are boundaries we shouldn't cross, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm going to steal it anyway. We do love Rhett, Ian, for all he is, especially in this book. But yes, I think it is the whole thing of cowboy and cowboy romance and stuff. And like, I would also say this is like Grumpy Sunshine, a bit as well, which I do equally love, but it's way too overdone for me. I think I like the idea of just living on a ranch. I think that's what just allures me so much to this type of book and genre and trope. But yeah, if you haven't read the Chestnut Springs series, I highly recommend. She is also doing the she's republishing the Gold Rush Ranch series, which is the one before this, and I'm slowly collecting that as well, and I'm very excited to read that after I've finished these. I literally think I've got like the last one left, but I'm not ready to say goodbye to the series yet. We will see. I'm sure if anyone has any other cowboy romance recommendations, you can comment them down below to give me more. The other ones I'd say that are similar to this, maybe even a bit more cowboy-y, is the Brooke Montgomery series. Can't remember the full series, but I think it starts with I think I've got two of the books, which is Stay With Me and Here With Me. Can't remember what order they go in. My brain is fuzzled because of the heat in the UK right now. It's boiling. But I'm sure they'll feature in a video at some point. I might do like a special edition video showing all like my hardbacks and special editions that I have. If you guys want to see that, comment down below. But I'll stop twittering on now and just showcase this lovely Elsie Silver book that features cowboys and ranch people. And I will go on to my last tropes that I love. Now, this is gonna shock people because it was this book, Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, was literally in my last video. It's my most anticipated reads for the next 6 months of 2024. But I read it. It was on my TBR and I couldn't resist. And it's introduced me to the world of Brother's Best Friend again. I used to absolutely love that trait. I think it stems from like Victorious and Disney Channel and all that stuff where like Brother's Best Friend was kind of the thing at one point or another. I don't know if people remember that age, but yeah. And this incorporates everything I love about Brother's Best Friend, and more. Even though I just think Best Friend's Brother is also a trope, but I haven't read much of that. Maybe I need to read more. Anyway, I guess it's kind of also under Forbidden Love again, but it's just, how can people not love Luke Brooks in this book? Because I am obsessed with him. He is the Brother's Best Friend, and he is amazing. So caring, so considerate. And in Done and Dusted, actually, the female main character wants to keep it a secret more than the male main character, which is surprising, and we love it. And this book is not one to read in front of family. It's very spicy. That's that spicy I didn't realise when I started reading it, and then got to the middle of the book and was like, oh, yeah, I had a reason to be so excited about reading it when I threw my glasses off in the last video, which I'm not going to do again. But just to say, yeah, that Brother's Best Friend is one of those that... Brother's Best Friend. I keep thinking I'm saying it the wrong way around. My brain. Again, blaming the heat. But it's just one of those that the forbiddenness of it, but also like the sneaking around. We like sneaking around side of it as well, and like just keeping it a secret. I think I have a thing for like relationships that I kept secret for a while, and I don't know why. Because surely if you were in that situation in real life, you'd hate it. But reading about it in a book just makes it more steamy and just delicious and lovely. Again, this probably comes under the subgenre as well of cowboy and ranch, but I had to say it was Brother's Best Friend because that is kind of the overarching theme. And of course, to the main character, she's his best friend's little sister, and he doesn't want to fall for it first, and then he can't help it, and it's great. I would highly recommend, and my excitement over this book was well and truly worth it. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this little video about my favourite romance tropes and like examples of them. I tried my best to find different ones, but I also feel like with a lot of romance nowadays, there's multiple tropes in each book, so it's really hard to just say like one book is purely this. So I hope I did a good job of semi-covering them. I was probably a bit rambly. Again, I apologise. I will blame the fact that it's summer in Britain and it's boiling, and I didn't want to have any fans on or doors open in case noises interrupted the video, because I'm not much of a perfectionist, so if I rambled, I don't know, just laugh at me in the comments or whatever. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please subscribe. I appreciate it. I think my goal for the end of the year was to get 100 subs, and I think I'm at like 55, so I'm halfway there, which I'm really happy about. And yes, I love people commenting and interacting with me in the comments. It makes me feel really happy, and like my videos are reaching the right people. So please comment down below. I think in the middle of the video there was a couple of like things you could have a conversation with me about in the comments. But yeah, like, subscribe, share with any bookish friends you think might enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one.